Hello, peeps. It's the 29th day of June 2026, and here's my weekly analysis for the pairs I trade. Firstly, let's look at what instruments I trade. I have Euro USD on my list. I have XAUUSD and Volatility 50 index, 75 1S, and 25 1S index. Where did that 100 come from? I can't remember putting 100 on my chart, but we're still going to look at it. And then we have BTC USD. Let's start off with Euro USD. We are on the daily time frame, and on this time frame, we can see bearish movement, right? Because, of course, this generally just that's what we're going to look for. If we go higher on the time frame, that is to the monthly. If we go to the monthly time frame, we can see that the monthly candle itself is bearish. Just that monthly candle for June, this one here, is bearish. Then let's take it a bit lower per se. The weekly time frame is looking like it's in a range, looking like price is bound between here and here with a little spike above that high level, but this is just looking like a sideways movement. Right now, if we want to see a little more price movement, direction in movement, will go down to the daily time frame, and we can see that bearishness in the single monthly candle is actually exhibited in this whole move. Now, where does that place us on Euro USD? Euro USD for us this week would still be looking bearish, because the past 2 weeks have been bearish. The previous week gave a close below last 2 weeks. This candle gave a close below this candle's lowest price point. So the tendency is for us to still be looking at bearishness on the lower time frame, that is. Meanwhile, bear in mind that the weekly is ranging, but we're not trading the weekly time frame, are we? We're just looking there to have a direction. Is it direction? Whatever it is, though. Now we go a little lower on the time frame, going to the 4 hours time frame. Let's wait for that to load. Yeah, it's here. So what is the 4 hours time frame showing us? Clear bearishness, right? Clear bearishness, downward movement with swing highs, lower swing highs, and so on and so forth. Swing highs, swing low, lower swing high, lower swing low, lower swing high, like that, like that. The price is just generally going downward in direction. So if we look at that, if we base our bias on the 4 hours time frame, we can see that price has come here and created a bottom with this movement upward, which we will term a retracement. I will take this as liquidity, and here too there is liquidity lying there, right? If that is the case, then what would I do? I would mark this place as, let's use this tool. Nah, wrong. Let's get this, the rectangle tool. Mark out here as a possible supply zone for price to react from. Price is likely going to react from this place, because that looks like a possible reaction zone for price, because we have liquidity here. I also said we have liquidity here. Yes, there's liquidity here, but this too might be enough to fuel the movement downward. So my expectation on the 4 hours time frame is for price to retrace all the way to this zone there, and then give us a reason to be bearish and come down eventually to take out this low, right? So that is for Euro USD. If we go to the next, which is XAUUSD, I'm not sure if I'm going to have time for all of these instruments, but I'm just going to do at least three. Yeah. Okay, so on XAUUSD, which is gold, if we zoom out a bit, we will have an idea of what the market is doing. 4 hours time frame also seems bearish, right? We can see all that downward directional movement, downward. And currently, it's on its own is also on a retracement move, because this would be a retracement impulse, and then this guy too is retracement. Now if we say gold is retracing, where are we likely to see action then? Where are we likely to see the realignment to the downward movement? I would be looking for this, of course, would be liquidity. This would be liquidity. I'm taking the whole of this and all of this from here down to here as my trading range per se. Right, right. Let's look at that closely. Let's look closely at that. Okay. If you look closely at this structure, you would see that when price created this low, it gave all of this move here, and this high was what eventually sponsored the move downward to break this low. Stay with me, we're talking structure here. So if this low was broken by this high, that means this high to the low here is at the actual range, right? So that high, this guy here, this created this low, and then that low created this high, which took out this low. I would be looking at this as liquidity to enter into any zone, any of the zones, right? And then continue downward. Possibility, those are my possibility outcomes on XAUUSD, the possible outcome on XAUUSD for this week. But right now, price is still in a retracement, right? That range looks too, it looks too wide for me. It looks too wide. I'm talking about here to here, all the way up here to down here. Looks too wide though, but nothing is impossible in this market, right? So. Anyways, that's the range for me on XAUUSD. Here would then be liquidity. So there is a possibility of that high being taken out by this retracement move. And we could be looking at this area as a reaction zone for price to go down. It also could still take out this zone and meet and find reaction zones above this particular zone. But generally, the 4 hours time frame on XAUUSD is bearish. Let's even look at the daily time frame on gold. What's the daily time frame showing us? Yes, it's still bearish as well. It is bearish. Okay, now we're moving on to the next instrument. The next instrument on my list is Volatility 51S. On the daily time frame, Volatility 51S is bullish. It is bullish. It has shown this complicated retracement. The whole of this is a retracement. Here is why I said so. I'm looking at market structure. Structure. Remember, guys, structure first, liquidity, and then we look for our yield zone, SLY. That is our model. Right. So I said price is bullish on the daily time frame because, of course, we can see swing low, swing high, swing low, swing high, a take out of this low as liquidity. This low was taken as liquidity, and then continuation right there. Okay, so I said this the whole of this is retracement, and price now has shown intention to continue this bullishness by taking out this guy here, right? Right? Yes. Okay, so if that is the case, we are bullish on the daily time frame. We are bullish on the daily time frame, right? What's this guy doing here? Take that out. Uh, okay, these markups might actually be from the lower time frame. Let's go down to the lower time frame and see why I have those markups there. Yeah, you can see this guy here would be a fair value gap. Let's look at that on the daily time frame. Yep, this box is a fair value gap, a daily fair value gap, and this guy is an order block per se. Yeah, so back to the 4 hours time frame, and we can see bullishness has resumed on the 4 hours time frame with this former bearish move. Low here, high here, low here, high here, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, liquidity grab there, and then bearishness. Then price came and took this and took this with the whole of this move, retraced to take out this liquidity, then continuation, and then this guy would continue like that. That is my expectation on volatility 51s. Of course, I would still need to refine my structural views to lower time frame to give me entries, but I'm just giving you an overview of how I see these instruments. So far I have done EURUSD, I have done XAUUSD roughly, and then I have just done volatility 51s. If I'm to go down a bit on a lower time frame for volatility 51s, what's this? Take that out. Okay, volatility 51s on the hourly time frame is showing us this. There was this guy as a swing high. First of all, that swing high came from the swing low. Then this swing high came all the way to take out this low, giving us oops, my bad. That was a big mistake. Okay, yeah, so back to business. I said this swing low created this swing high, and then this swing high went on to take out this swing low, creating a lower swing low, retracement, lower swing low. Then this guy has come and has taken out this and this, which is ultimately a change of character, market structure shift, trend change, whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. Now we have this downward move, continuation up. So my expectation right now is for price to either come down, take out this liquidity, continue, or still come down, take this guy out as well, and just to grab liquidity there with a weak movement and then continue upward. Because remember, on the bullish on the daily and the 4 hours time frame, we are actually bullish. So I hope this video is useful. I hope it has been useful to you. Feel free to make use of it however you wish. Remember, the market leaves clues. Learn to read them. This is Trading with SLY. I'll see you on the next analysis video. Trade safe, guys.